Hello, Wadsworth. Hello, everybody that's watching, and welcome back to another great rendition of the Tommy Maroon Sports Show. And we are very excited as we are going to really be prepared for a lot of stuff and be prepared for our trivia question of the week, which was from last week. Why not do it this week? And here's the question. What school left the Suburban League following the 1975-76 season? And the correct answer is Manchester. That's right, Manchester left. And guess who came in? A good staple to the Suburban League, Highland High School. Of course, Highland was in the Suburban League, I believe, 1956 and 57, but that was only for football. And then 76, those Hornets took over for Suburban League, and they have really been there to stay ever since, and I really hope they can stay there for a long time. Time to look at scores, speaking of which, of high school football, Suburban League. And Aurora did it. They completed the dream season, the perfect season at 10-0, 42-0 trouncing against the Copley Indians. Barberton, the Magics were able to beat the Roosevelt Rough Riders 28-0. And of course, those Highland Hornets really ended the season on fire. They won 4-1 to end the season. Their lone loss came against Aurora, which was a well-played game, as they really gave Talmadge a 42-14 beating. And that was really fun to watch as Highland. I was at that game, pretty fun to watch them. They finished 4-6, 3-3. One might see 4-6 and think it's not good. I look at the other way. I mean, this season for the Hornets, they had new players, new positions. It was seemingly just an ensemble. They got together, and as the season progressed, you could see them working harder, and it showed on the field. I mean, they could have won a lot of those games. They were a really well-constructed team, and the record 4-6, that means nothing because it was such a great season for the Hornets. Contrary to what some might say to the record, I say it was a success for your Hornets. And Revere was able to beat up Bay 56-0. Look at Revere. They were 5-5. That's pretty impressive. And Stowe manages to beat Cuyahoga Falls 43-7. 6-4 record. That's okay. That's pretty good, actually. It's above 500. And keep in mind, they won all their non-conference games. North Royalton was able to beat Nordonia on a high-scoring 56-26 game. Hudson was able to claim a share of the National Conference with a 56-13 annihilation of Twinsburg. And, of course, Wadsworth against Brecksville, the biggest game of the season, a back-and-forth fourth quarter. Brecksville tried to go for two. Down by one, it failed, and Wadsworth won. And you know what that means? We saw an incredible 3 teams share the National Conference. That is crazy. That is 3/8.375 for those of you math people out there like myself. Time to look at the standings. Aurora won the American Conference 10-0. Barberton second, 5-1. Roosevelt 4-2. Those Hornets won 3-3. Revere 2-4. Copley 1-5. Twinsburg won 0-6. But you know what? Twinsburg got a win. And for the National Conference, as we mentioned, 3 teams tied for the National Conference. Brecksville 6-1. Hudson 6-1. Wadsworth 6-1. And of course, those 3 teams on your screen, bottom center, or little bottom center, they are in alphabetical order, not by how I think they did, but rather alphabetical order, BHW. And you can say the same thing for 4. North, Nordonia, so by anyways, and then Stowe, 3-4, 3-4, 3-4. Twinsburg went 1-6. Cuyahoga Falls did not pick up a win in the National Conference, but they went 2-8. And it was a very successful season. We congratulate all the teams. Of course, it's high school football. Most of them are in it for fun. We wish them a very bright future. And for guys that might be on the basketball team, like, for instance, some players that will be doing good, like on basketball. We can't wait for you there. We'll see you then for basketball. Of course, I will be chronicling the high school basketball season. And for what to look for next year, we're going to look at 2020 preview. That's right, put on our 2020 site. I wish I had that, but I don't. Like the ABC News show. Will Aurora continue their dominance? An unbelievable 10-0 season. Is Brecksville going to be the team to beat again? Is Highland ready to be a contender in 2020? I'm telling you, they got a lot of good pieces next year. Their freshman JV team looks pretty good. Could still rebound from a season that did not go according to plan. Still, Stowe is a top-notch school. They could still do good. I'm really excited for Stowe. I think they got a lot of potential. Same thing with Roosevelt. They shocked everybody just like Brecksville. As they went 5-5, 4-2, they did a really phenomenal job this season. I can't wait to see what they have next. Time to go put on your Cleveland Cavaliers hat. Because we're going to look at the Cleveland Cavaliers, of course. Player stats include Kevin Love. Kevin Love, the veteran, has been doing a great job this season. 19.2 points per game, 15.3 rebounds. Colin Sexton, the second-year point guard from Alabama University, 16.8 points per game. And Tristan Thompson, I say it all, I'm going to say it again. It's really hard to believe that this man is a veteran because I remember when he was young and fresh, right out of Canada, and I believe out of college too. And now here he is. He's become one of the best players on the team. He's shown it this year, 16.5 points per game and 1.5 rebounds per game. Time to look at your rookie watch. Of course, Darius Garland has been doing a good job. 8.2 points per game, 3.7 assists, 1.2 rebounds. Kevin Porter, 5.3 points per game, 2.3 rebounds, and a 1.3 assists. Time to look at the game recaps. We're going to start off with the Cavs against the Bulls, and the Cavs won that big rivalry, 117-111. Tristan Thompson had 23 points, 10 rebounds as well. Colin Sexton, 18 points. Kevin Love had 20 rebounds. 5 Bulls players had 10-plus points. In fact, we were losing heading into the fourth quarter, but you know what? They did a good job. Cavs against the Pacers. The Cavs happened to lose 102-95. Kevin Love scored 22 points, 17 rebounds. Jordan Clarkson had 20 points. Domantas Sabonis had 18 points, 17 rebounds, and we just scored only 11 points. And we didn't even, or in the second quarter. And we only scored 95 altogether. And in the NBA we live in now, that's pretty much really hard to believe. That team scores under 100, but don't worry, we scored over 100 the next game against Dallas. The catch, we lost 111-131. Kevin Love had 29 points, and Tristan Thompson had 12 rebounds. Of course, Tristan Thompson being the big man on the glass because he is a big man. Every basketball player is big, both size and just how they play. 6 players for the Cavs had 10-plus points. Luka Doncic, the second-year Maverick, last year's Rookie of the Year, had a triple-double, 29 points, 14 rebounds, 15 assists. Let me tell you something, folks. This man looks like something to believe. And the Mavs scored an incredible 41 points in the fourth quarter. And there was Cavs and Celtics last night, and we lost that one. So we have lost our last 3 games. We are at a 2-5 record. We could be, of course, in the NBA. Philadelphia is off to a strong start. We can't forget about Toronto doing good without Kawhi. A good job for Los Angeles. And the Phoenix Suns, who would have thunk it? Devin Booker and co. are doing a great job in Phoenix. Will it stay that way or will it not? Of course, Phoenix has been doing a good job this season. Arizona, of course, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals haven't been doing that bad. The Phoenix Suns off to a strong start. And who would thunk in the NHL? The Arizona Coyotes, or as I like to call them, Desert Bus, based on the 8-hour Penn and Teller video game. Desert Bus. They've been doing a really good job. We'll see if Desert Bus, the Suns, and Cardinals can continue it. Speaking of football, Cleveland Browns. Gonna look at some stats. Baker Mayfield, 1,963 yards, 7.2 yards per attempt, 7 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. Nick Chubb had 154 carries, 803 yards and 6 touchdowns. Odell Beckham Jr., 39 receptions, 575 yards and 1 TD. Jarvis Landry had 36 receptions, 555 yards and 1 touchdown. Time to look at the mid-season recap here for the Cleveland Browns. 2-6 record. Only wins came to the Jets, and the Baltimore Ravens. Their only wins came on the road. Who would thunk it? Mayfield is tied with Jameis Winston, famous Jameis, more like infamous Jameis, for most interceptions in the NFL. Chubb is 4th in the NFL with rushing yards, and Browns have a mighty easy schedule. I mean, we got Buffalo, which is going to be scary. Pittsburgh, who we usually have problems against, but Pittsburgh looking a little weaker. Miami Dolphins, Free Willy's dead brother. Yeah, we're sorry for you fans of the movie Free Willy that we offend his dead brother. And then the Steelers again. Then the Bungles, winless. So I think that'll be good. Cardinals. Of course, Cardinals are looking pretty impressive so far. And then the Ravens, who we beat. And then the Bungles again. Browns against the Broncos. The Cleveland Browns lost, unfortunately, 24-19. We are now 2-6. Denver is 3-6. Baker went 27 for 42, 273 yards, 1 touchdown. Get this, 0 interceptions. Oh, what a great day it was for him. Unfortunately, it was a pretty mediocre day for the Browns. Chubb, 20 carries, 65 yards. Landry, 6 receptions, 51 yards, and 1 touchdown. Yes, Jarvis Landry got his touchdown, by the way. I can't believe it. I am so happy about it. Congratulations to Jarvis. Hopefully this will be the first of many. He is a really great receiver. And right there, that was Brandon Allen's very first touchdown pass of his entire career. This was his very first game. He went 12 for 20, 193 yards and 2 touchdowns in his NFL debut. Philip Lindsay, a great running back for the Broncos, 9 carries, 92 yards, and 1 touchdown. Of course, Brandon Allen threw a massive 75-yard touchdown missile to Noah Fant in the second quarter. That really helped Denver. Of course, Denver did a really great job. Up next for the Browns, it's going to be against Buffalo. And of course, that's going to be pretty scary because Buffalo, with their mighty good defense, that's going to be some. Baker Mayfield might want to look out. Buffalo, when you go up against their defense, you just can't stop them, just like Baltimore's good ground game. Denver has this week off, so they got some time to rest and celebrate after a win. And Freddie Kitchens is on the hot seat. Of course, if he can pull it around, he should stay. If we continue to fall down, then you might as well kiss Freddie goodbye. So we'll see what happens. So that'll do it for this episode of Tommy Maroon Sports Show. Of course, we got to look at topics for next week, which I will try to do the Cavs and the Browns, and I think high school football as well with the postseason. We're also going to cover high school basketball soon. Get ready for that. I will try to announce some games on YouTube. That's going to be pretty exciting to do. And time for my question. Who won the very first Suburban League Championship in football in 1949? Got your answer? Why, we will see next week on the Tommy Maroon Sports Show.